wasn't yours. I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back, I'm going back to who I was before. I like me better, I like me better.
Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So definitely a different video for me. I had something completely different in mind to film today, but I'll just upload that on Sunday. Today I am going to do a video where I go back down memory lane and go over any product that years later I look back and think I kind of regret reviewing that. Now, you can regret trying things, stuff like that, but it's definitely different for someone like me where people are relying on you before they try products, before they spend their money. And I always do try to make sure, like, you know, I'm very thorough. I give my honest opinion on how I think about something because I do know people are spending their money based off things that I say. But you know, sometimes it just be like that, where like you thought it was the best thing since sliced bread when you first tried it, and then as time goes on, you're just kind of like, you know, this might not be it. This really was not it. So if you guys want to know what stuff I look back on, I'm just kind of like, if you bought any of this because of me, I'm kind of sorry. I'm not kind of sorry. I am sorry. Let's go. Okay, so the first one is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow. Now, in my defense, you know, at the time, it was just like, that's also the thing, you know, when you're wearing makeup because of what's the norm for makeup at the time, as opposed to how makeup suits your face. Because like everyone just had the black brows with Anastasia Beverly Hills, and sometimes you can be like, oh well, you know, maybe if you're just a little heavy, light-handed or something like that. I really just do not like that product. Even if you do try to, you know, be light-handed, it just, the finish that it gives, feathery brows, block brows, thick brows, I just don't like how the product looks for a brow product, but especially at the time. But I just do not like the product for brows. But at the time, you know, it was the brow product to have. It was what you needed to have sculpted brows, and you can still have sculpted brows to this day. Like, obviously my brows not filled in right now, but you know, you can still have structured brows, but it's just the color of the product, the formula, how it wears on the face, it was just no. But I do know I talked about it like it was the best thing since sliced bread for a little minute. So if you bought that because of me, sorry. Okay, next up. Now keep in mind, anything I talk about in this video is strictly like how I feel about the product years later. I don't care about like not looking at how I think of the company, if it's a company I still shop at, any of that type of stuff, right? All of that to say, the next thing I kind of regret reviewing is Tarte Shape Tape. And again, not because of, you know, how you might feel about Tarte now or like everything that Tarte's been through since then, but at the time, and it doesn't happen often, but I think at the time it really was just like, well, everyone says it's good, so even if it might not be the best thing, I guess like maybe I'm the problem. You guys ever have that with a product where you're like, everyone calls this thing like a holy grail, but when I try it, it's giving girl go ahead and take it off your face? Because at the time I did like Tarte Shape Tape, that's the name, for a good minute. But even back in the day, I think even before the whole foundation fiasco, stuff like that, I was like, you know, this kind of dries out my under eyes, like, which is already kind of dry. So I don't really know about this, but I kept using it. And I also think, if you guys have been here for a minute, you know, like, I've since said concealer in general isn't really something that impresses me. So I think at the time, because it was something, a product I'm not really impressed with to begin with, and again, everyone's saying like, you know, it's the best thing since sliced bread, even though it might not be the best thing to me, I guess I'm still going to wear it. I guess I'm still going to say it's okay because one, I don't know any better, and two, everyone's saying that it's a holy grail. So if something's not working here, maybe it's me, right? I'm just gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna go with what everyone's saying. But looking back on it, no, that product really was not worth the hype that people, including me, gave it. And then that's not even getting into the shade range of it, and then everything else that happened with Tarte. So looking back, yeah, I kind of regret that I reviewed that. Well, these are things that I regret that I reviewed and gave y'all the thumbs up on. Let's make sure we get that clear. Now, if you've been here for a minute, you know long ago I was very much so on the everything has to be matte phase, and just in general for that phase, I apologize. Even to oily skin out there, I do still like a soft matte face or just a natural finish face. But if you were back, or if you've been following since that matte phase, then you know I used to hype up the KVD, at the time Kat Von D Beauty Lock-It foundation. I am so sorry if I made you go out and buy paint, because that's exactly what it is. Now the whole brand in general is very full coverage, but baby, like looking back on it, paint, that's literally what it was giving on the face. It's what it felt like on the face. It was just doing way too much. And then I was using other matte products on top of it. Like, I really did not value my skin at the time. I really did not. And I did just review their Good Apple Serum Foundation. Like, that is a foundation if you are looking for matteness, but you still want your skin to breathe. You still want the finish of your face to look like skin. See, growth. Even the company had growth there, because Lock-It foundation just doing way too much. But the Serum Foundation was what, in my mind, I must have thought the Lock-It foundation was all those years ago. Now, if you do like those type of foundations, continue liking them. But I'm saying, me over here, I regret hyping that up as much as I did. Okay, this next one, okay, to be fair, this next one, from the jump, when I first tried this product, I was very honest and said, it's okay. Like, this is a very hyped up product. I see it all over the place. Like, it stays sold out. So I bought it because, especially at the time where I was trying the products, there certainly were not as many deeper complexions that were on YouTube and doing reviews and stuff like that. So I wanted people to see it on my skin tone. And those would be the Kylie lip kit, the Kylie lip kits from Kylie Cosmetics. I said from the very first time where I reviewed it that I don't really understand the hype here. You know, it's an okay product. It's pretty much like ColourPop, more expensive. I said that from the beginning. The reason I regret it though is because people, again, like I said, didn't really have that many skin tones to look for as far as reference and stuff like that. So I know people did use me as a reference and then went out and buy it. And then years later, I was like, not only like is it just okay, like I really just don't see it for her. You guys remember, I think there was a company that had created a dupe where it was like $1, and I was like, yeah, it's giving the same thing. It's literally giving the same thing. To where I'm like, it literally was a waste of money for me to buy the lip kits. There was nothing special about them. Could literally have found better lip products anywhere. But again, like I said, sometimes that's just my job. My job is just to be a shade reference. And you know, that was lip swatches, stuff like that. Sometimes I go into it knowing that this isn't going to be it. Me, when I tried that Becca, the no pigment foundation, we all knew. But you know, if you did see it on me and you went out and you bought them Kylie lip kits, you probably got ripped off. Could have gone ahead and got yourself some ColourPop. Now granted, I could probably do this for a good minute, right? But I said I was only gonna do 5 in this video because I've been doing this year. We'll make it 8 years. Yeah, 8 years this year. But the last I'm gonna talk about in today's video that I regret reviewing, I think like back in the day, I really did act like it was the best thing since sliced bread. But the Smashbox primer, that icon, y'all know exactly which one I'm talking about. You know, like Smashbox has been said, oh, like they're the first primer, stuff like that. Water. That's exactly what it is. Water. Looking back on it, because like there are some, and I know some people are kind of iffy on setting sprays to begin with, same thing with primer, and a lot of people do feel like it's just water, but I definitely feel like there are some primers, no, they definitely do what they say they're going to do. They definitely mattify your face. They're definitely going to keep your face together throughout the day. They're going to add glow to your face. Like there are some, no, they absolutely, and then there are some, but like also there are some where people always say that, like MAC Fix Plus, people always say, you know, this is like something that you use in between layers to kind of add hydration to your face, stuff like that. Not really a setting powder. If I've been saying setting powder, setting spray, right? But Smashbox primer, I done said everything from primer to setting powder. Setting spray. It's a setting spray. Now Smashbox has released other setting sprays that I do think are better setting sprays, but that original one, that, you know, the one that everyone was talking about back in the day, water. Maybe I don't even think it added hydration to your face. Like, okay, it was there. Like, literally just one of those products that's just kind of like there, but for some reason it was very, very, very hyped up. But Smashbox was also a brand that was very, very hyped up at the time. So if you bought that, if you bought that because of me, sorry. Now granted, there might be something in this video that I mentioned that you bought because of me that you love. And if you do, I love that for you. That is what I hope happens when you guys purchase things based off of a review, any recommendation that I give, anything like that. But I know everything that people buy because of my recommendation, they're not going to love, right? And I want you to know, I do feel bad if you buy it because I liked it and you don't like it. And I just want to say, like, looking back, have you ever wondered, have you ever like influenced people? Have you ever encouraged people to buy something and then years later you're just kind of like, oh, I do. You know, and I mean, it's a natural thing. I really did like it at the time, but things changed. I really did think, you know, a matte face all over was the best thing since sliced bread years ago, and now, yeah, I just would not do that. Things change, people change, but you know, this is my formal way of giving you an apology for that. So let me know if you want to see another video like this. And also, keep in mind, there are some things that I've tried, I did like, and maybe later on I don't like anymore, that I don't necessarily regret. These I'm specifically pointing out that I regret because your opinion can change on things, but you're like, you know what, it was bad. But like, these are things at the time where I'm like, I really should have known better. You know, like I really should have, like, I just should have realized that it wasn't it, but for some reason I didn't, for one reason or another that I already explained in this video. So let me know if you want to see another video like this again. Make sure to thumbs up, subscribe, notification bells down below. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Yeah, 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 yeah.